Hello everyone. We are going to learn how to crochet today this shamrock with lacy leaves. It's very easy motif, but I know that many of you like to see how something is done in details. And this is what this is the goal of my lessons, my video tutorials, live video tutorials that I have once a week. So let's, I'm looking at who joined me, if any. And this time, I'm starting my video today the second time because I had some interruptions. But, and I hope that those people who joined me before today will connect again. So to start this motif, we will have to make first a ring, and then we will crochet separately petals, and at the end we will make a stem, and we will crochet the edges of each petal over the padding cord to give them like sturdiness and a good shape, so they would stay that the motif will have a better shape. Okay, I will move this a little bit aside so that you could see what we're doing in a corner. It's our lesson. And let's start. So first, we will have to make a triple cord, triple padding cord. For padding cord, I chose crochet thread number 10. It's Aunt Lydia. Well, I see people are coming back. Hello, Lori. Hello, thank you for coming in, those of you who joined me right now. So we will have for padding cord thread number 10. I use Aunt Lydia's, it's the best thread for padding cord. And for crochet, I'm using my silk thread. It's almost the same number as between number 12 and 8 of DMC petal cotton. And I'm using crochet hook 0.9 millimeters. So triple cord, what we do, I will just take handle of my hook and I will wrap thread around this hook 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. You can take it off. Here's your triple cord. Make sure that the short tail of the padding cord is on your right, and the thread with a longer tail, or the one that comes from the thread, ball of thread, is on your left. And now we can add our thread, working thread. At first, of course, we have to attach thread like this. Just slip stitch, and after that we crochet 24 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20. And at this point we can do this, move your short tail of the padding cord to the right, this way, and continue. 21, 22, 23, 24. Also make sure that the long padding cord is on the back of your work, on the back of the ring. Now you see I still have a little bit of gap here, so we can make this ring smaller, and I will show you how to do this. We have to close the ring with slip stitch, but before I will do that I have to make the ring smaller. So all you have to do, pull on a padding cord on both sides. I hold always the place where it's not connected yet, and I'm pulling on one end and then a little bit on the other end. If it's not enough, you can always come back and do it again. And like this. And when you're satisfied and everything look nice and neat, we have to a little bit make some cleanup. But before, let's close and finish our ring. So after the 24th stitch, we have to make slip stitch in the first stitch of the ring. Make your slip stitch, stretch this area, this last stitch a little bit, and let's find, first of all, we'll grab this short tail of your padding cord, the short tail, cut it off. Okay, we don't need this anymore. And on the back, together with your padding cord that comes from the ball of thread, you have still the short tail of your working thread. This piece you can cut off. So make sure you identify the right thread, so you don't need this anymore to drag it with you. So now all we have only padding cord, your working thread. And now we're ready to crochet leaves. So slip stitch is made. Next step, and let me zoom in a little bit so that you could see better, like this. The first thing we'll do, we will make a single crochet stitch into the next stitch of on the ring, single crochet. And after this we start our leaf. Chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Next, single crochet stitch into the next stitch of the ring, single crochet, and repeat 2 more times the same pattern. 1, 2, 3, chain 3, single crochet into the next stitch of the ring, and again 1 more time, chain 3 and single crochet stitch on the ring. So we have 3 loops right here. After that, turn your work like that, the wrong side, and make chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we will make single crochet stitch into the first loop beneath, single crochet stitch. After that, repeat twice, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, single crochet stitch into the next loop beneath, and 1 more time, chain 3 and single crochet stitch into the last loop, like this. After that, finishing this second row, we have to make chain 2 and double crochet stitch into the single crochet before the first chain. Before this first loop we had that, remember, we make slip stitch and we made single crochet. So this is where we're going to make that stitch. I'm just looking for that stitch, it's right here. We'll make there a double crochet stitch, double crochet. And so what you have here, you will have 1, 2, 3, and 4 loops. Turn your work and crochet this way. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet stitch into the first loop beneath. And then we will crochet 3 times. We have here 3 loops, 1, 2, 3. We will make and repeat 1, 2, 3, chain 3, single crochet into the next loop. And repeat again, chain 3, single crochet into the next loop, chain 3, single crochet into the last loop. So we have 3 rows. And the third row we will repeat 2 more times. Turn your work, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, single crochet into the first loop beneath, and repeat chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and single crochet into the loop. Repeat this 3 times. 1, 2, 3, single crochet into the next loop, chain 3, single crochet to the last loop. And we have to make exactly the same row one more time. Turn your work, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, single crochet stitch into the first loop beneath, and then repeat pattern 3 times. Chain 3, single crochet into the loop beneath, and again 1, 2, 3, single crochet into the loop, and again 1, 2, and 3, single crochet beneath. And after this first petal is done, we cut thread off and we have to fasten in this thread into the side of the petal. So let's take a needle and we will weave in this thread on the side of the petal, like this. Just inserting the needle into the edges of petals on the side of the petal. Make sure not to pull on a thread too much, so this side of the petal and the first side on the right and on the left will be the same length. So don't pull on that thread too much. And if it happens that you did pull too much, all you have to do is to take the corner of this petal and pull on it a little bit to fix it and have the same size. Now, so when you weaved in the thread, this end, you can cut this thread off. Don't need that. And we will crochet next petal. For next petal, pick up your thread, shorter tail here in your hands. Skip 2 stitches on the ring and insert hook into the third stitch. So let's do it. 1, 2, we'll go into the third. Pick up thread like this. so that my thread will not move around and wobble and I will not lose it. I will pick up short tail, draw a loop out of this short tail like this, then I can drop it and pick up again my long tail of thread. And this short tail I will crochet over this right now, the first row of with single crochet stitches into those edges. I will crochet also over the short tail. This way I will fasten it in as I crochet. And our pattern goes this way: 1, 2, 3. Just we repeat the same pattern as here. Single crochet stitch into the stitch, next stitch of the ring, and remember, crochet over the short tail. Again, 1, 2, 3, single crochet into the next single stitch on the ring, and one more time, chain 3, single crochet into the next stitch of the ring, like this. And after your first row, you can cut this short tail. Be careful not to cut stitches. And now we're ready to crochet the rest of the leaf. Turn your work, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, single crochet into the first loop below. After that, chain 3, single crochet into the next loop, and again chain 3, single crochet into the next loop, the last loop here. After that, finishing the row with chain 2 and double crochet into the single crochet below. Like this. So you will have to have 4 loops here. Here they are. Turn your work like this and crochet. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, single crochet below. And we will repeat 3 times. Chain 3, single crochet into the next loop. Chain 3, single crochet in the loop. Chain 3, single crochet in the last loop. While I'm doing this, I just want to ask all of you who are watching my video tutorials, please like my videos, please comment, please ask questions. Please like my videos before the video ends. If you don't like it, you can always unlike it. If you don't like the videos that I make, you can tell me why. Please always comment. Your comments are very important. So it's very important if you're active and you communicate with me. Communicating with you helping me to know and learn how to make my videos better. And so don't be shy asking questions. So I finished my third row, and and 2 more rows to go, and we repeat them as a third row, which means chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we go into the first loop beneath and make single crochet. After that, we make chain 3. Okay, I'm not sure I made 3. 1, 2, 3, single crochet into the next loop. Again, chain 3, single crochet into the next loop, chain 3, and single crochet into the last loop. Turn work again, and the last row, 5th row, we repeat again, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, single crochet into the first loop, and after that we repeat chain 3, single crochet into the next loop, and we repeat this 2 more times. Chain 3, single crochet into the next loop. Chain 3 and single crochet here. Like this. So after that, again, cut thread off and fasten this thread on the side of your petal. I'm trying not to be in a hurry when I show things so that you see the whole process, how I deal with different things, how I fasten my thread off, how I start next row, how I add thread. I think it's all important to see. So I never edit my videos, I never cut them, make them shorter or whatever. All sounds like today I had started this video before at 12 o'clock as usually, and first I couldn't figure out how to fix my voice echoing on the computer twice, and then my dogs barked, so, and then somebody called and the screen went black. So I needed to fix everything. I learned my lesson not to take my puppies with me. They want to be here, but and I do take them here, but not when I have live videos. That was a big mistake I made today. So okay, we have 2 petals, 2 more. I'm sorry, one more, not 2, just 1 more petal. 1 more petal, exactly the same way. We're adding thread. Skip 2 stitches, 1, 2. Now going into the 3rd stitch and attach our thread. And it's better if you attach it the way I already showed you. First short tail, pull on it a little, and again introduce your longer tail. And we will crochet over this short tail first row. So our first row, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, single crochet stitch into the next stitch, like this. Again 1, 2, and 3, single crochet into the next stitch. 1, 2, and 3, and again single crochet into the next stitch of the ring. And after that we can simply cut this short tail of thread off. Now turn your work and we will make second row. Chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, single crochet into the first loop below, then chain 3, single crochet into the next. Hello Renee. 1, 2, and 3, and in the last loop we make single crochet and finish second row with chain 2, double crochet into the single crochet below. So we have 4 loops, and we repeat our pattern that we made for the first 2 petals. So make 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, then single crochet stitch in the loop below, then again chain 3, single crochet into the loop below, chain 3, single crochet into the next loop below, and last chain 3, single crochet into the last loop. And now third row we repeat 2 more times. Turn your work, chain 5, one, 2, 3, single crochet, 1, 2, 3, single crochet into the loops below, 1, 2, 3, chain 3, single crochet into the last loop, and one more time turn your work, and last time 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, single crochet into the first loop below, chain 3, single crochet stitch in the next loop below, chain 3, single crochet into the next loop, and last time chain 3, one, 2, 3, and single crochet into the last loop, and again cut thread off, fasten thread into the side of your petal, and fasten this thread inside. We'll have this gap between first and the last leaf. So one more time, just when you weave in your thread on the side, pick up just one strand of thread of stitches on the side. This way you will hide the thread inside, like weave in. As in the book it says fasten off. This is what that means. And make sure it's not tight here. After that, we can cut off this thread like this. And now let's come back to our first leaf. See our padding cord. We will pick up our padding cord. We will crochet around the edges of our leaves over the padding cord, and we will crochet into those loops. Let me just first tell you how I will do this. I was doing it a little bit different than in the book, and I will show you what I did different. It just worked way better. The sides of motif of petals will look much better, cleaner, more, I would say prettier. So let's look at this petal together. I zoomed in and I will zoom a little bit more. So we will have to pick up our padding cord and attach thread on that side on the first stitch before the first petal. And now let's examine our petals. So we have loop, 2 loops on a side, 1, 2, 5 stitches was here, 3 stitches, 3 stitches, 3 stitches, 2 loops, 2 loops, loop of 2. So 2 loops here, 1, 2. So we will crochet. In the book they want to crochet 2 single crochet stitches in the first loop, 2 single crochet stitches into the next, and 5 single crochet here, 3, 3, 5 in the corners. So 5 single crochet stitches in the corners, 2, 2, 3, 3, and 2 on this side. But when you do that, the stitches between the loops, the stitches, this right here, I would crochet, what I did, I was crocheting into those stitches extra stitches. So I would make over the padding cord 2 stitches into this loop on a side, then 1 single crochet stitch into the stitch here, 2 next stitch in here, then 5, and 5th stitch, actually it fits 4 only, so the 5th stitch will go into that stitch, then 3 or 2 and make 1 here, but you can make 3 stitches into the loop and 1 stitch in the stitch here, and the same way here, 3 stitches in the loop, stitch there, and they say 5, so I would make 1 and 4 here, so together 5. And then the same here, 2 stitches in the loop, 1 stitch between loops, 2 stitches in that last loop, and 1 single crochet stitch right at the base, right here where the stitch is. Then we will have to make between petals 2 single crochet stitches over the padding cord, and then again the same way as I crocheted around the first petal, we will make the same way 2 more, and then we will make a stem. So let's do this together. So pick up your thread, and if you have questions, you can ask me right now. So we have here somebody from India. Okay, let's pick up our thread and see what I do. So here's our first petal and the padding cord behind. So we will crochet over this, but first we'll have to attach thread. So let's go with the hook into the first stitch, before the first, here, this is first stitch before the first petal. And let's connect thread to this stitch. Just pull thread through, make slip stitch like this. After that, we will crochet over that short tail of thread and padding cord. So pick up this to make it better and look nicer. Move this on the front that you can see it. And so here it is. First loop on the side, 2 stitches, 1, 2. You can make 3, but I will go with third stitch into this stitch between right here, like that. Now next loop on the side, 2 stitches, 2 stitches here, and third stitch will go right in here where the stitch is. So 1 and 2. So I'm adding 2 more stitches on the sides, and extra stitch, I go into this stitch between the loop and the next loop of 5. We had a corner of 5, chain 5. Now in that corner we crochet 5 single crochet stitches over the padding cord. We already crocheted a little bit on the side over the short tail, so I don't want to drag it with me all the way. I will cut it off. I don't need this anymore. Always when you do that, be careful not to cut stitches. Be very, very careful. Your scissors need to be very small for needlework. Scissors for needlework is the best to cut thread, fine thread like that. So over the padding cord in the corner, 5 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you see that you cannot fit 5 stitches in the loop, then fit 4, and the next stitch make in the stitch. This is what I'm going to do. I made 5, but I will then add extra. Why I do that? That way that side will look smoother and your padding cord will not show. If you will not do that, for me personally, I didn't like the way it looked like, so I add extra stitches. So now I make stitch here where the stitch is with a single crochet, like that. And next loop we had 3 stitches here, chain 3. I will make 3 single crochet stitches, 2 and 3. Into the stitch, single crochet, I will make also stitch, and again 1, 2, and 3, and into the single crochet stitch. And here we can fit, we only have here not 5 but chain 3, so you can, instead of making 5 single crochet, you have this extra stitch, you have 1 stitch here, you can fit here 4 easily. If not, you can make stitch where that next stitch become before the loop, you can make stitch, 5th stitch there. It's up to you where you will make it, here or there. And by the way, always look at your padding cord on the back. Is it showing anywhere how the stitches behave? And also, if it's a little bit too stretched, you can always pull on a padding cord. Hi, Barbara. Like this. So I will fit here probably 4 stitches, and then I will see. So you have to kind of be creative here, see how it looks, to make it look nice and neat, the edges of your shamrock. 3, 4. So yeah, I will just do it like that and look like I'm fine. This edge and corner looks nice. So now I will just go and make on the sides my loops. So I will have, you see, loop, then I will have in a stitch I will make one, again 2 stitches in the loop, and the last stitch I will make between the ring and between the stitch, the loop I mean. Right here there is a nice place to put extra stitch. That way your edges of petals will look really, really neat and sturdy. The shape of petals will be very pretty. So we made 2. Then 1 more stitch goes into that, right here, into this stitch between the loops. Again, in the loop, 2 stitches, and if those are on the way, you can move it. 1, 2. If 3 stitches fit, you can fit 3rd stitch in the loop, and 1 stitch right at the base here. Right there. Before we go and crochet in the ring between, make sure that you see how it looks like, kind of shift it a little bit. You just want to pull on a padding cord slightly and shape your leaf before you go further to make sure that your leaf is shaped well and look nice. That the sides also will look good, the same size. And then between petals we have 2 stitches on a ring. We crochet there 2 single crochet stitches. 1 and 2. And one more time look at your first petal. Make sure that the size of both sides are the same. And now we will crochet exactly the same way the rest of the petals. So 2 stitches on a side on the first loop, into the stitch between the loops, again 2 stitches in the loop, and then stitch between the loops, this loop and the corner, 5 stitches in that big loop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So just crochet in such a way that your edge will look neat. Neatness is very important in your work, of course. You want your work, you spend a lot of time on your work and you want it to look nice. You want all your stitches look the same. when you crochet with a padding cord, the edges of flowers that have this kind of texture of lace net, I would say, lacy net. It's very important that between, when you crochet in the loops, between the loops also stitches will look neat. This is why I'm showing you this, the way I do that, that I crochet extra stitches into the stitches between loops. That way your work will look way better, neater. And I hope you like it also. It's not always easy to insert the hook into those stitches there, but it's possible. You know, we have stitches that are actually hooks that are sharp, so I think you will not have any problem inserting hook there. So and I think somebody commented something, so I don't use stiffener. For stiffener in Irish crochet, the padding cord works very well. And the thicker the padding cord, the stiffer the motif will be. Majority of motifs that I make and majority of motifs that the Irish crochet have, they are kind of 3D. I am not making this motif 3D. It will be a little bit because of that my stems, and I will talk about the stem, why it's like that. In the book, the stem is kind of flat and curved into a hook, and I like this side of the stem. And also we will add more, we will add extra button on top, which will give you a little 3D effect in the center of this piece. And by the way, you can make out of this motif so many things. Renee, I hope I answered your question. Also, I would add to this question, to the answer, that stiffener is not needed for Irish crochet. It's lace. It's very delicate lace. You want it to be soft, delicate, neat, pleasant to a touch. It will be if you'll wear, if you'll make something, is it a clothes, collar, top, dress? You want your lace to be not just neat in the way it's crocheted, but also you have to use nice thread that is not stiff, not starchy. Irish crochet is lace that you don't have to starch. If you crochet nice and tight, there's no need to starch your lace. It's basically impossible really to starch it, and then if you have 3D motifs, how will you iron them, right? Also, I never iron Irish crochet lace. I steam it only. I give shape, I block my motifs, I block my lace, but I never press it with iron. If you have 3D motifs and you press it, so what they will look like, right? I don't do that. I know that in Russia and in Ukraine and in Belarus, there's another country in Kazakhstan, ladies who crochet some, not all, but some I know that press their motifs, press them with a hot iron. I just, I don't know, I don't like it. I like the 3D effect. It looks so much better. Very beautiful, and give you this lively lace that flowers like in nature, 3D. It look very beautiful. So as you see, I'm talking and I continue crochet. I am again between petals. I made my 2 stitches there. I will adjust my petal first before I go any further. It looks nice and neat. And last petal left to decorate. Crochet over this with padding cord. You're welcome, Renee. So let's, ladies, continue, right? I hope you're following with me and crochet, and it's easy and I'm not going too fast. I'm trying to make sure that you not just watch it but also crochet with me together. So I'm not rushing myself. And you see, this stitch is not very easy to get in, so you have to just adjust, see carefully where you add, how to insert your hook in there. And um, also, I would tell you this, that if you make one motif and just I, for example, personally, I do like this motif. This motif is absolutely beautiful. But I also want to try the same motif, the same pattern, to crochet with thicker padding cord. Add extra texture to it. This motif also will look really beautiful after if you will add to it raised stitches. And as you remember, I already showed you in one of the motifs how to make raised stitches. You just crochet over the padding cord along the edges and connect in some places around it. So it gives you effect of 3D by the that added padding cord will create that 3D effect, and it's why it's called raised stitches, because they will be on top of the motif, of the edges. It's actually a very beautiful technique. Absolutely love it. So if you think that you can, if you like to change this motif slightly, more power to you. It's always nice to create something based on what you already know, create new motifs, and make something totally different. So I'm in the corner of the last petal. I'm almost finishing, and we will go into the stem. And actually we will finish motif in a few minutes. I would recommend also to adjust padding cord on every side separately. Then when you made this top, then pull a little bit on a padding cord to see is everything look straight or just at least neat. Neatness in your work is important. So I made my 4 stitches. Actually, I need one more stitch, and look like I will add it into the stitch here, if I can insert my hook, of course. Okay, so I finished the last leaf, the third. I will fix all the sides of this petal. And now we are between first and the last. We still have that gap. And before I will make my padding cord, my stem over the padding cord, I will go and crochet. We have here 1, 2, 3 stitches between. I will make one single crochet first into the ring over the padding cord. Then I will connect, I'll not connect, but I will fix, I see my petal is a little bit off. Okay, now it looks nice. So one single crochet stitch between, and that between first and last stitches. After that, we will crochet over the single padding cord a stem. According to the pattern in the book, you have to make 30 single crochet stitches over the padding cord, single padding cord. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 25, 24, I'm sorry, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. So look that your stitches are all snug together, that your padding cord is not shown anywhere. And now we will turn our work. By the way, if you want it curved or straight, if you want it straight, leave it the way it is. If you want it a little bit curved, this is what I like to do. I will pull on a padding cord slightly, not too much, just a little bit, to create that curve. And now we will go back and crochet into the stitches of the stem that already created. We will insert the hook into the bow, into both loops of stitches. So after the last stitch, make chain 1, turn your motif, turn your work. And I already showed you this technique, the way I do this. I bent my padding cord in such a way that I will hold the loop of the padding cord in my hands where my hook is. Like that. I know it's a little tricky to show even like this. So I hold this loop of the padding cord at first. It's easier to crochet and start, and we crochet 30 stitches over the padding cord, crochet, insert a hook into both loops of stitches. So you see how my hands holding this loop, and it's easier, it's gonna, you have that leverage, it's easy to hold your work this way. And you can crochet like 10 or something stitches, how many you can handle this way. And then I will show you how I remove that loop and continue crochet. So inserting hook into both loops of stitches beneath and crochet over the padding cord the next row. And that will be almost the end of this. We'll almost finish this motif. We have to only add a center to make a 3D top or center of the motif. And a few ideas for you to consider to crochet this kind of motif. Since we have this beautiful lace in the petals, you can crochet lace petals with beads. It will look very beautiful, give this motif extra beauty. So now look, I removed my hand and I will remove the loop. Just holding the stitches that I just made, pull on a padding cord only, and your loop disappears. That's it. That's it. And continue crochet over the padding cord into the stitches. just like that. So I'm at the very end, base basically coming closer, you see, to the center again, to the center of this motif. And I will show you something else I do not in the book, and you will see why. So let me finish this last few stitches here. I'm almost finished, almost done here. Like this. I think I can make one more stitch. Yes, I will do it. One more stitch. Like that. And so this is the right side of this stem. But I personally like this side. You see the difference? I will show you. Here's the right side. I will put side by side. And here's the left side. Left, right. I kind of like the way it looks here. So what I'm going to do, I already turn it. First, I have to finish, right? So I have to finish the last stitches here over the padding cord. And so what I do first, I insert hook into the, I drop the last stitch. I insert my hook into the next stitch of the base here and grab this stitch, this right here. Your stem already turned to the side you like. If you like what I like, of course, I'm not I'm not telling you you have to do what I do, but I'm just showing you my little trick, the way I do it. Now I hold this last stitch, put it on a hook, and pull this hook, make it smaller, pull this hook, can you see, right? Here's that stitch. Pull the stitch through to the front, like this. And now pick up padding cord and crochet your last stitch here. Over the padding cord and into the ring. Like that. Drop the cord. You can cut your... actually, I will make slip stitch here somewhere. Do I have room? Actually, I don't have to. You can cut your thread off. And what we will do now, you see how it looks now? My, of course, I'll pull on a padding cord slightly because it's kind of misbehaving. So this how it will look like. My padding cord, or my stem, turned this way. I just really like the way it looked like. 3D and a little bit curved. Or like this. I just really like the way it goes this way. So anyway, let's finish this. I'll show you the technique how to finish. So last stitch, move thread on the back of your work. And we will sew as I always do. We can cut off our padding cord a little bit. And we will sew over that short piece. And then we will make the center of our motif. By the way, you can also, as I told you, when you will decorate your shamrock, you can add beads to the lace. You can make the edges with picots, thicker padding cord, just play with it a little bit, see what you can add to make something a little bit different, or whatever you wish. It's a really beautiful, very simple, and at the same time very neat and very elegant motif. Very cute. You see how I made my stems look funny. So let's finish this. So with the thread on the back, sew a little bit over this padding cord, so sort of secure the padding cord that it will not come out and the stem will stay safe. So I will go into the stitch first, weaving a little bit here, the thread, and now I will sew over that short tail of padding cord. I will sew slightly, like a few millimeters. And when you do that, make sure you do that very tight so that padding cord cannot go anywhere, that it will stay in place. You secure this. And after that, after you sew just like 3-4 millimeters, even 5, and it's done. After that, I will do it one more time. After that, you can cut padding cord off. It's safe now. It's done. And weave in the rest of the thread. I will weave my thread into the edge of the petal where the motifs, where we have padding cord. That area allows me have more room, and my thread will go there very easily with needle. So like that. Make sure not to disfigure your motif. You don't want to make it look bad. Be very careful. Don't pull on a thread too much. And when you finish, you can cut thread off like that. So it's almost done. So now well, first of all, you can leave it the way it is. It's actually very beautiful. I have here a little bit of thread. So you can leave this motif the way it is. It's still beautiful, very beautiful without that little button, right? But we will make it. Let's see how it will look like. Because yesterday I made it and I forgot that there is still a button need to be done. So let's make a button. Button is made exactly the same way as the center of the flower. We make over the triple cord, 1, 2, and 3. We crochet 24 single crochet stitches. And where is my thread? So at first we go and secure our thread, a slip stitch, and then crochet 24 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and counting 20. I will cut my thread actually off because it's kind of asking to come to this side. That's what I will do. 20, and we need 21, 22, 23, and 24. So after that, into the first stitch of the ring, slip stitch. Okay, cut your thread off quite long enough to sew the button to the to your shamrock. And let's figure out how it looks like. It's a little bit slightly bigger than motif. Let's pull on a padding cord on both sides, just slightly, not too much. Okay, and let's see if this is what we want. The size look like right? Looks good. So now we can cut the padding cord off. We're done with that. And now also look at something else. This is the right side of our button. We will sew it the way it's in the book. Turn the button in the wrong side and sew it this way to the motif. My padding cord shown here, that's okay. It will hide itself between the stitches. Okay, so now we can sew this little piece to the shamrock, to the center of it. Also, you can make the button thicker, not just over the third triple padding cord. You can make way bigger. You can make buttons that are closed. Remember, the buttons, they are more, you could see more of those buttons in modern Irish crochet when their center is closed. They are bigger, bulkier, but they look really neat. So we put this to the motif like that, and we will sew. Sew to the shamrock. And as you know already, I sew in such a way that I would see my the front of my motif. So see actually, so that will not damage from the back. So make sure to align holes in such a way that you don't see what was before. And sew with the same color of thread, of course. You will not really see anything. Where you sew, but I do it on see in the front, simply that I will sew over those bumps right here. That way you will really don't see where the sewing was done. And I can skip some stitches, and I have to be so each 24 stitch, right? All I do just sew in few spaces, in few spots next to each petal. Probably twice is enough, like next to the petal here at the beginning and then here. So I sewed here already. I will insert my needle here, right at this base, like that. That will be the best way. You can also do it in the middle one time, like on the sides and in the middle, and that will be enough. I would definitely add extra padding cord to button, but it's my personal preference. You know, everybody is different, and as I told you before, you can experiment with this motif and make it a little bit different than in a book. Just bring something your personal into this. And I'm almost done here. So my button is sewn. So now I'm going on the back. I finished on the back and weave in my thread. To secure, just finish my work by fastening my thread behind, between stitches inside. And as you see, I hide my thread into the button on the back, into the center of motif. It's a perfect place. And after you finish with sewing the button, cut your thread off, and this is what your motif will look like. And also, I would show you, see how it will look like. Really neat. If you turn your motif this way, your stem, you can put the one end under, like this, and you can sew that stem to the flower there, then take another flower, take a stem underneath, sew it there, and you have a little cute branch. Beautifully done with the edges. Part of composition that you can create, add other motifs as you go. This is how it looks like. Really cute, neat motif. I personally like it without the button. I like the way it looks without the button, but it's my personal like. It's a really neat motif. Enjoy it. Make as many as you want for your collection, for the future project. Also, you can make motif with using this technique and make a flower, as you can see, like that. Add extra petals if you want, but it's really neat. Looks nice like that. So that will be it for today. Our next lesson will be next Thursday, again at 12 o'clock. I will not bring my dogs, I promise, so that they will not interrupt my lesson. And that will be it for today. Do you have questions for me? Please let me know. Thank you. You're very welcome. Welcome, ladies. Thank you very, very much for joining me, staying with me through my problems of first video, tolerating my dogs barking. Thank you very, very much for joining me. I will see you all next Thursday. It will be, let's see what date it is. Thursday, October the 8th. So next lesson will be back then. And we will crochet our next motif from the same book. We're almost done with that book. There are a few motifs left, not many. And that will be it. Then we will go into a different book. So So, okay, that's it. Thank you for joining me today. Have the wonderful rest of the week. Um, Stay safe out there. Don't get sick. Well, no matter what it is, winter is coming soon and flu season. So I wish you all the best, ladies. Thank you very much. Goodbye.